Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I just wanted to have a quick discussion about a pretty neat discovery that players have found out regarding the latest Year 5 Season 2 update for the Division 2, as it kind of sets the stage for some pretty cool stuff that we are likely to experience over the course of the season, so I just want to talk about that. We'll get right into it, and if you enjoy consistent Division videos like these, then consider clicking that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's go. So, if you saw the coverage leading up to the season, or if you've played Season 2 already, you're likely pretty familiar with the fact that the Recruiter is this season's prime target. Now, this is cool for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because we finally have gotten a Hunter season. I feel like ever since, the Division 2's content came back with Season 9 and we kind of restarted the whole story of the game, people have been saying, man, it would be cool if we had a Hunter season, and that is pretty much what we're getting here with the fact that the Recruiter is a Hunter, that is the prime target, and yeah, the Recruiter is a pretty big deal within the Hunter organization. And that's the other part that's pretty exciting here is the backstory of this character. If you are not aware, the Recruiter has kind of been spying on us ever since, like I said, Season 9. In that prime target mission, there were two different points, or three maybe, where you would see the Recruiter watching over you as you made your way through the Jefferson Trade Center. And then just at the end of last season, Year 5 Season 1, the Recruiter was watching over us as we extracted from the zoo with Mari. And so that has raised a lot of questions. Why are they just observing us and not actually going into conflict with us when we're going directly against what it seems like their motivation should be? And overall, just who is this character and how do they relate to the greater Hunter subplot? Well, let's loop back to that neat discovery I was talking about, and that is the fact that shortly after the update went live, plenty of people went in and discovered that the devs have actually gone in and updated the old asset of the Recruiter in those two missions I was talking about, the Season 9 Prime Target mission and the Year 5 Season 1 one. And they've now updated it to align with this new design. So I went and checked this out for myself, and I will put those clips on the background now so you can see them, and it is indeed true. They have updated the design to align with this new look for the Recruiter that we saw with the marketing for Year 5 Season 2. Now, I've seen some commentary on this. I'm aware that not everybody loves the new design. They think it's not quite huntery enough, if that makes sense. A lot of the hunters are always big on their bulky armor, having a lot of that really tactical feel. And this new look for the Recruiter is a bit slimmer and a bit more stylish. Personally, I like the differentiation. I think the fact that the Recruiter plays a very different role than other hunters that we've seen means that it deserves to look a little different than the rest, or at least that's a very nice visual compliment as far as the story. But it has introduced the big question for the season that everyone's going to be talking about for quite a while. Who is the Recruiter? A lot of people are very convinced that it is going to end up being a character that we already know, and that somehow plays into what we've seen with the Recruiter so far and what is going to happen with the events over the course of this season. A thought that popped into my head once Season 2 began was that it could be Agent Johnson, who has conveniently kind of made his way back into the story. This is one of the core agents that they used in the Division 2's marketing prior to launch years ago. And if you've played the intro for Season 2, you'll know that he hops back on the comms and talks to Manny and says, "Hey, I'm back." And Manny's like, "I thought you were dead." And he says, "Nope." So that's a little bit conspicuous, and I think we're going to find out more about that as we go on. But some developer comments did kind of shoot down that idea, maybe, but it's still definitely possible. My totally out there idea, I know a lot of people have been looking at the Recruiter model and thinking, like I said before, it looks a bit slimmer than normal, so they're thinking it could be a female behind the mask. So I know this won't happen, but my totally outlandish theory is that what if Fei Lao either came back from the dead, didn't really die in Season 4 or something, and she is actually the Recruiter? Like I said, that's not going to happen. I give that a below 1% chance, but it would be pretty cool. At this point, it is anybody's game. It could be anybody, and all of these theories have some validity to them. I'm leaning towards it is going to be a new character rather than somebody we already know, but it could very well be somebody we know. And if it is, then when we unmask them, if we do, in the Prime Target mission this season, that is going to be a pretty shocking surprise. So lots of cool stuff to talk about, but more than anything, I wanted to share that neat little discovery that those old assets and the model for the Recruiter in those past missions has been updated. And it starts to drum up the hype a bit for this Prime Target mission at the end of this season. I think it's going to be a pretty fun lead up, knowing that we have these several targets to go after first. And given how in-depth these other Prime Target missions have been for the past several seasons, I'm very curious to see what that translates to when it comes to a direct boss fight with a actual hunter. As opposed to how they've been implemented in the Division's past content, this one could be a bit more structured, could be a bit more intricate. I'm very excited to see how it plays out. But my friends, that's going to do it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on this entire topic. What do you think about the Recruiter being the prime target for this season? Who do you think's behind the mask? And what do you think of this new asset that they've placed into these old missions and is presumably what they're going to use when we do confront the Recruiter in the prime mission this season? Let me know it all down below, and that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Rogue Gold. Ow.